SuperStone Concrete Polymer Instruction Bulletin provides all the details of proper mixtures and installation techniques. Here you see the broom finish being applied to the surface with, of all things, a broom. On the next quadrant, we're going to apply a knockdown texture over an existing knockdown pattern. We've troweled a skim coat down to even out the surface, allowed it to dry, mixed the spray material according to the directions in the SuperStone Installation Bulletin, and now we're applying it with a hopper sprayer. The spraying completed, we knock down the texture mix with a trowel, keeping a wet rag handy to make sure the knockdown trowel is always clean. Notice how clean and crisp the textured pattern is. Over on the third quadrant, we're taping a tile design on the surface. And now we're rolling on the base coat. And we follow this by spraying on the knockdown material. On the last quadrant, we've applied a brick stencil. The base coat is gray to simulate natural mortar color, and we've pigmented the knockdown mixture with a natural brick colorant. After spraying on the material, we'll knock it down with a trowel. Once the material is dry, we spray the surface with our antiquing solution. We're applying a pigmented sealer to 3 of the quadrants, 2 thin coats on each. On the brick pattern, we'll apply clear sealer. Let's have a look at the results of our efforts. The characteristics of the SuperSurface polymer allow us to remove the tape and stencil the following day, and still leaves crisp, unbroken grout lines in the knockdown material. A final look at the patterns we stamped earlier shows conclusively that SuperSurface concrete polymer more than lives up to its promise. The depth of the pattern, the beautiful surface texture, you be the judge. Could you tell the difference between this and a stamp job on a new slab? Let's move now to a vital step in surface preparation. As we stated earlier, unrepaired cracks in the existing slab will result in their appearance in the overlay material within a short period of time. Most crack repair attempts have one major fault: they just don't work. Now, SuperStone is proud to introduce you to one that does. The new SuperStone Crack Repair System. Available in kit form, it contains everything you need to quickly and effectively repair cracks in concrete slabs. Let's look at this new process, step by step. We'll start out by scrubbing the surface with a commercial degreasing agent, such as the one pictured here, agitating it with a stiff bristled broom. When all traces of grease, oil, and any other surface contaminants have been removed, we pressure clean to remove all residue. The next step is to acid etch the surface to ensure that we have a proper bonding profile. We're using 1 part muriatic acid to 3 parts water and working it into the surface with our broom. When the effervescent reaction of the acid on the concrete stops, the acid has done its work, so again we pressure clean to remove the residue. The surface, and particularly the crack, must be free from all moisture before the repair is started, so we're force drying the surface with a blower. When the surface is completely dry, we'll brush the epoxy into the entire length of the crack. Into the leftover epoxy, we add enough sand to form a thick but still pourable consistency. We pour this into the crack, pushing the material in with a putty knife. On top of this, we immediately sprinkle sand to provide a good grip for the polymer material we're about to apply. As soon as the epoxy is tack-free, we'll mix the polymer material to be used in the repair process, 50% polymer and 50% powder, following the directions that are included in the kit. Now that the polymer material is thoroughly mixed, we brush off the excess sand from the repair surface and trowel the mixture onto the surface to a depth of approximately 1/16 of an inch. The fabric mesh is laid on the polymer and forced into the material. Now, we trowel the surface smooth and feather the edges to 0. Allow this to dry completely before applying the top finish coats, usually anywhere from 4 to 24 hours depending on location, temperature, and humidity. Now you can apply your overlay materials with confidence. As a point of review, we'll look in on actual SuperSurface job installation on the driveway of this beautiful home in Miami Beach, Florida. Insensitive to freeze-thaw cycles, Superstone polymer materials can be installed in any climatic region. As you can see, this driveway has already been stamped in a European fan pattern. A metal tool was used, and the owner found the surface configuration to be a pedestrian hazard, particularly for ladies in high heels. The first step was to level the surface with a skim coat, which has already been done. Here, we're misting the surface with water prior to applying the squeegee coat. After paper shields are applied to protect the adjacent areas, the squeegee coat is applied to a section small enough to permit the application of the stamp mix while the base coat is still wet. Once again, the tool and the area to be stamped are liberally sprayed with Superstone liquid release agent. Control joints in the slab must always remain in place, so they're accurately marked and recut once the material has dried. Since the Caesarstone pattern is being used here, 10-inch borders will be installed, as well as bands in the center of the drive, to provide some contrast to the unbroken texture of the Caesarstone. This is accomplished by taping paper shielding on these areas and troweling on fresh material, which will remain smooth and texture-free. The following day, we applied Superstone Super Seal, and by the way, Superstone Clear Concrete Sealer may also be used. Now we can see the dramatic change in appearance from this to this. The SuperSurface concrete polymer system is just that, a complete system, with every component structurally and chemically matched to ensure perfect results every time. How does the SuperSurface concrete polymer system benefit you, the installer? It allows you to give the customer a beautiful, deep relief stamped surface, indoors, outdoors, even over existing stamps or overlays. It allows you to stamp today and seal tomorrow, a real time saver. The pre-colored bag mix allows for accurate color matching should any future patching or repair be necessary. No area contamination from messy color hardener or release powders. It provides unparalleled flexibility and superior results in all overlay or spray system applications. Superstone. Ride the wave of the future with tomorrow's technologies today.